We're live. What is up, guys? Welcome, welcome. What's up, guys? Welcome. Eller, OG, BP, Prodigy, what's going on, guys? What is going on? Prodigy said, good old discount today. Oh, yeah. We're going to go over that today. We're going to go over that now. Here, just giving everybody a few seconds to trickle in. Yep. So, if you guys saw the stream yesterday, man, we definitely we've been kind of calling for what happened today, and we're definitely gonna go over a couple things. If you guys see on the thumbnail, you guys, and I'm gonna show you the charts for Bitcoin particularly, but let's look at Milady right now while we are waiting for everybody to jump in. So, hope everybody had a good Monday, safe weekend. Let's get into this. So, Milady sitting at around 52. We saw today what was a nice drop down to a little bit under 52 at around 51.9. Definitely took advantage of that buy-in. Let me see here. Oh yeah, that's the channel. So I definitely took advantage of that buy-in today and accumulated some Milady. Didn't buy nothing crazy. I bought just a quick billion. Was able to get it for like $50, right? Like $52. So not too bad. Not too bad. Especially when like last week we're buying a billion at like $65, $75. So, getting that discount like Prodigy said, not a bad deal, especially long term when we know, what this thing's going to do long term, right? So if we can get dips, get those discounts, it's not about how much you make, it's about how much you save, right? That's what it's all about. So before we get started, make sure you guys hit that like. Let's go. So let's jump right into this. So you guys remember the thumbnail, or you guys saw the thumbnail today and yesterday. You guys can even go and rewatch the video. We actually were calling. Somebody asked me yesterday, if Bitcoin breaks down, where do I see Bitcoin going? And you guys can, this is what I'm saying, you guys can go back and verify these lines have not changed whatsoever. The only thing I did change was I made this one yellow right here, just because I wanted to see it and see it a little highlighted. But the person asked me yesterday, I don't remember who it was, but they were like, so what are like some of the supports as far as spots for support if Bitcoin starts breaking down? And the first thing I said was that this 39 right here, this 39.7 is going to be a pivotal spot. That's going to be some solid support. And we honestly, this would be like the first little spot that we definitely obviously want to hold, right? We want to hold, and lo and behold, today, we actually, when we went on that dip, look what we exactly went to. I did not alter this line whatsoever. This has been there for weeks, if not months, as we were on our way up. This was a technical spot that we had for some solid resistance. So when we're on our way down, if we're going to, charts go up, charts go down, right? So when we're on our way down, it's going to be flipped. It's not going to be support or resistance anymore. It's going to hopefully be some support. And that's exactly what it was today, right? Now you can see we are not far above that spot, honestly. It's not like we saw this massive, we saw this quick drop and then a V-shaped recovery or anything like that. I mean, we're still hovering around that spot that we tapped both times today. Again, like I said, that 39 it's the 39.4. I don't know where the hell I was saying 39.7. Oh, we're at 39.7. I was like, wait, hold on here. So the 39.4 is pretty much where we hit both times. Now, what I'm getting to is the fact that we didn't see a big V-shaped recovery is almost telling me that we might see more pain. We might see more pain. And I was getting word that Grayscale is still selling as of today. Still selling as of today, right? We had sell pressure all last week. Grayscale sold over $1 billion in a week of Bitcoin, right? We turn around and I told you guys this. During the weekend was going to be stagnant because Grayscale and a lot of these big institutions, none of them are working, right? They all work 9 to 5s pretty much, right? They work during the stock market hours or traditional stock market. So you're most likely not going to see any big buys or sales from the institutional side on the weekends. You'll see them on Monday through Friday. And I said this yesterday. I said we're going to have a boring Sunday. Tomorrow is when we're going to see what's going on. And I was just saying, I hope that Grayscale is done selling, right? I hope that they're done with the selling pressure and we can get back on, on our track up towards our 50,000 and exceeding 50,000. Well, today, Monday hits, 9:30 particularly starts hitting, and you see these dips, right? You see the dips that we see right now, obviously, right? And, like I keep telling you guys, I really do think that if we cannot hold this spot right here, which is we've held for now, we're holding the line at 39.4, right? The fact that we're under 40,000 right now, is a little bit like, ugh. I really wanted to see us stay above 40. That would have been a very, very solid spot really to hold. Maybe go down to 39.9 or something like that real quick and then bounce back up, which we technically were doing that a little bit today right before we broke down, right? But the sell pressure was just too much. Now, the next spot that I have, if we are to break this spot, because I want to make sure you guys are prepared, right? The next spot that I have as far as holding some support, if we break this 39.4, is going to be down here at the 37.65, right? And that is going to be a move that's going to shake the market. That's going to be a move that's going to shake the market. If we were to drop another 5% from where we're at right now, or from where we're holding, you guys can anticipate that most likely Milady will drop probably closer to her 200-day moving average, most likely somewhere around this 42 mark. So, the dips are great, right? But just make sure you're not going all in on just one small dip, because we might have more dips ahead of us, right? I want to see you guys. Oh, okay, Adam, I see what you're saying. Hold on one second. So you guys, I want to make sure that if we do see any more dips today, or not today, but coming up maybe in the next week or two, that you guys are prepared to take advantage of those dips. Now, Adam's coming in with breaking news, and I'm sure it's breaking to me because I haven't seen it. I was watching Grayscale, but he's telling me that FTX sold almost $1 billion worth today. Really? FTX is coming to, if they haven't done enough pain to this market, right? It's weird. Why are they picking to sell right now? You know what I'm saying? Isn't that a little odd that they're picking to sell right now when they had ample opportunity? I mean, unless it was just like the funds were released, because I know a lot of their funds have been being held, like through court orders and stuff like that. So I wonder if they just got the green light to sell today, or if this is a malicious kind of a thing that they're doing, because they're probably pissed that the market started taking off and all their funds have been frozen, right? Because they hold on to a lot. They hold on not only to Bitcoin, but remember they scared everybody off with Solana. They were a big holder of Solana and a lot of stuff on their portfolio, actually, believe it or not. Hold on one second. Shut this door. Sorry, I had to let my dog in. I told you guys, she always knows when I'm going live. But, yeah, so I don't, with FTX, it's like, who knows, right? I mean, I'm sure that someone knows as far as if this was court ordered and they were able to finally sell off some of their Bitcoin, or if they possibly are doing some kind of a malicious thing, knowing that Bitcoin is already kind of on its last leg, trying to hold that 40,000, and maybe they're trying to sell off so they can cause some kind of a panic sell, and maybe they can start accumulating Bitcoin again down in the 30s. I wouldn't put that past them whatsoever. I would not put that past them. Obviously, it's all speculation, but, it's just it's so convenient that they come through when we're already we're already kind of been going through a lot in the last few weeks with this whole ETF and everything like that they're coming in, and they're now doing $1 billion worth of sales. So nice. He's saying they don't own any more Bitcoin. Nice. Well, I mean, I guess it's just like just take it all out, right? Take it all out. Let us be. We'll move on from there until they wreck whatever other project they have. So we'll have to see how that goes. Troy, what's going on, brother, man? If you guys haven't already, make sure we're hitting those likes. We got 14 people here and 6 likes. What are you guys doing here, bro? Just kidding. Looking at the bubbles for the day, just like you guys would anticipate, right? Red. We're all in the red. There are some things that are kind of up, like Hex, 18%, but Hex usually doesn't go with the whole market. It always does its own little thing. But you have like Solana down 8%, which we're gonna go over. In a minute. But you have, just looking at everything's kind of around the same amount that's down right now. 5, 6, 7, 8% really. So nothing too crazy. Milady's market cap right now about $38 million. So we're down. We're almost into that like just micro market cap area again, where it's just like, it doesn't matter. We can let us drop down to $30 million and we'll keep accumulating, because we know when this market starts going off, we're going to shoot so fast up with a $40 million market cap. It's not going to take much and we're going to be right back to where we're at. So it doesn't bother me. Honestly, I saw it today and I was like, ooh, nice, for a couple of reasons, right? So I told you guys that I have been actually, hold on here. I've been longing and shorting the hell out of Solana like crazy. So I've been really just like all day just watching the Solana. I'm watching all the charts, right? But I'm really watching Solana particularly. And really what I'm looking at, you remember I went over this the other day with you guys. I'm watching the 1 minute because I'm making fast, quick transactions. So, today, show you guys some of the plays that I made. I really was, believe it or not, longing the market. I didn't short at all for Solana. And you're thinking, how the hell did I long and I was able to multiple times make 40, 50% on my investments on longing 100x leverage? Well, what I was doing was, as we were on our way down, because it was plain to see that we were, the market, if you look, we're just steadily moving down, right? But we were having these swings. So what I was doing is I was taking advantage, especially if we saw where it was a really fast like giga drop. I would take advantage of it, and just wait. We'd see this massive drop and I'd see us kind of stop. I'd buy in, right? And ride the wave up, long it, and run up 50% on my leverage, and then kind of wait for something else to do. So I did it on most of these dips here, and it actually played out pretty well. I was going to try to get fancy and ride them up and then ride them down, like short them. But I was like, you know what? I was doing good with the long, and I was like tempted to do a short once. And right when I was about to go short, it kind of spiked up and I would have been liquidated. So I was like, you know what? I'm happy that I didn't freaking short. I was like, I'm going to just stay away from, why is my chart all messed up? I was like, I'm going to just stay away from shorting for right now. Let me reload this chart. Sorry, I'm just loading my stuff back up. But yeah, just really trying to take advantage, because it's like right now, other than buying the dip, it's like there's really, it's like one of those days where it's just like, how are you going to make money, right? How are you going to make money? And I like the excitement, right? So I've been doing leverage trading for Solana particularly. I haven't really been touching Bitcoin or Ethereum. I just really been leverage trading on Solana. And Solana's DeFi, I'm going to take a break on that, bro. That's it. That right there is just that's outrageous. Solana's DeFi is like, you either going to make a lot of money or they're going to rob the shit out of you, right? So it's just like, I thought I was a master of DeFi, and I bought in on a couple projects, did good on some projects, right? And then I just had some bad experiences the last couple of days on a few other projects where I'm like, got a bad taste in my mouth for like Solana's DeFi. I'm like, and it's not just Solana's, it's all DeFi, right? It's all DeFi. It's all the same. It's just like Solana's particularly the one that's like pumping right now, and it's really not. If you really go over to Deck Screener and you start looking at the DeFi, Ethereum's DeFi is actually doing pretty good today. It's at 1.4 billion, and I'm sure it's probably because there was a lot of sales. Binance is actually freaking doing crazy. But look who's number 3 today. Arbitrum. Arbitrum's number 3 for volume for DeFi. 570 million. Solana at around 440, which is up. Yesterday it was around 400, but Arbitrum, which brings me to Arbitrum, right? So I actually, I know somebody in here has been, why does it keep freaking doing that? What is TradingView? Something's going on with TradingView. It's like keeps bringing up like advertisement, and then it's like not loading the damn chart. So I've been watching the hell out of Arbitrum because I know somebody in here is invested. They were bringing it up that they bought Arbitrum around $1.60, which we actually are back down towards $1.68. I really am kind of interested in starting to DCA in Arbitrum. I'm kind of watching. If you guys can see for myself, I'm waiting to see if maybe we can tap down towards around this $1.61. Even if we don't get it, like right now it's tempting, $1.68. I actually have some funds available, and I might end up doing a buy here in a minute. But I'm looking at $1.68 and $1.43. I'm kind of waiting to see what the market's going to do, right? If Bitcoin's going to maybe hold where we're at right now, or like I was saying earlier, if we're going to maybe do some of those drops like I was calling for, like the 37. If we see the 37 on Bitcoin, we're definitely going to see probably $1.40 Arbitrum. And I would love to start accumulating Arbitrum because I feel like this project in the bull run is going to be going hand in hand or head to head with Solana, particularly just because the DeFi has been going crazy on Arbitrum. It has literally been going crazy. So very interested in definitely accumulating there. Ella was saying, good to know. I won't sell Milady. I will hold until the end of this. Good. Adam said, it was for the bankruptcy. They don't own any more Bitcoin. Nice. And TJ was saying, cheap Milady, aka my ex-wife. Marlon, do you think these grayscale folks are pushing the market down prior to having, or so they can pick it up even more Bitcoin for the ETFs? To be honest, none of us are really going to know the real strategy behind why they are selling big chunks of Bitcoin. But I will say Grayscale owns about 600,000 Bitcoin. That doesn't sound correct, but they have I was reading some article. They have a big bag of Bitcoin, right? They just sold 11,000 Bitcoin, which came out to about $1 billion that was last week. I don't know what they did today, but they're selling small increments in their bag, right? Small little increments for them to fund the ETF that's on their Grayscale, right? So that's what that's their reasoning of why they're doing it. But there could be something behind it as far as why are they selling the actual hard copy of Bitcoin for a synthetic ETF? Who knows, right? I'm sure they do need to free up some funds, for the Bitcoin ETF. So why not sell some of the Bitcoin, especially while it's up? They sold last week. It's up $43,000. They've probably been accumulating all in the 20s. So they're doubling their money. Why not take profit, right? To fund another project that is probably going to be, going up as well. They're selling Bitcoin for the ETF Bitcoin when they know that it's, Bitcoin's going to be, doing really well this year and especially next year. So, it's probably a win-win for them. It's just causing pain in the market for right now. Like I told you guys, remember what I was explaining yesterday, and we went and looked. I don't know if a lot of people are talking about this, but for every Bitcoin bull cycle that we get into, there's always a solid drop before we really start taking off. Remember my beautiful drawing that I have here, right? Freaking masterpiece right there. But you guys remember, so we saw something like what we're seeing right now, where this was back in 2020. We saw this big run up, right? We saw this big run up. And remember, we mapped it yesterday. This is for all the folks that weren't here yesterday. We mapped it. You can see when we made this run up from this high to where we retraced was a 32, almost 33% retracement, right? So we ran up. Everything was euphoria. We're Bitcoin going to the moon. We made it up to about $42,000. Almost coincidentally where we're at right now, right? 32% drop. 32% drop, right? But what that did was scare the hell out of everybody in the market that couldn't handle crypto. All the new investors ran for the hills, right? Bitcoin's going back to $3,000, and surely we have it a few months later, because we'll actually map it out. This was at January 2021, which I remember when this happened. January 2021, and you can see towards the end, right before we took off, was January. So it was actually about 4 weeks span, right? But it scared the hell out of everybody. Imagine Bitcoin taking a 30% drop right now. We're looking at 5% drops, and you can see how it's completely U-turned the narrative in crypto right now, where it's like people are calling for $10,000 Bitcoin again, right? But what I'm trying to point out is, like I said yesterday, we saw that 32% drop, and that ignited us to get on that massive bull run. So we made this high. This was an all-time high at the time, 42,000, around there. Dropped about 33%, dropped right back down to 29. Boom, shot up. About a 4-week span of us making that high to us going down about 4 to 5 weeks, 30% drop, boom, made a new all-time high. We shot all the way up to almost $60,000. Now, look what happened here. Shot up $58,000, another 26% drop. Another 26% drop happened, and the time frame was from February to February, right? And really till we started taking off was March. So another 4 to 5 weeks of pain in the market, right? So you thought at the time, because at that time, if we could go and we could do a little flashback of YouTube and everybody, right? It was, we're going now, Bitcoin, that was it. Bitcoin topped out. We're going back down to $3,000, $10,000. Your favorite YouTuber is screaming that, right? And we dropped 26%, and bam, we made a new all-time high at around $62,000. And you guys can kind of see what I'm getting to here, right? So let's go all the way to where we're at right now, right? We made an all-time high. We made an all-time high at around $49,000. We were all here. It was just, 2 weeks ago, right? 2 weeks ago. So if we map out, let's just call it a 25% drop. That's 30. Let's do 25. 25 would put us somewhere around 36,000 from that high to about to 25% down, right? About 36. We don't know what this run's going to give us, right? All I can almost guarantee is it's going to be something similar, because the charts are always like that. We're not going to just continue to move straight up, and have these little 2% dips and then a 10% move up, right? It will happen like that here and there, but when we really start moving, we're going to see these drops. We're going to see these big drops, right? And it's going to spook the markets. But eventually the sellers get overwhelmed, and we'll take off again, and we'll make a new high. And it's just like over and over and over is what we'll do, until finally we will eventually make that high, that all-time high, or whatever it's going to be. And then we will start descending, and we won't come back up for a while, right? Just like what we just went through. So, I'm telling you guys this. I'm repeating myself because I literally said this yesterday, because I just want to make sure. That you guys are prepared. If that's something that we're going to go through, then be prepared, because Milady, what do you think Milady's going to do if we go through a 30% drop on Bitcoin? What do you think Milady's going to do? If Bitcoin, let's do a poll, guys. Let's do a poll. Let's see here. Start a poll. Oh yeah, I forgot. I still don't know how to get rid of the yes or no. Let's see here. If Bitcoin Bro, how do I get rid of... Oh, there it is. Yeah. Well, learn something new, guys, on YouTube. Let's see what you guys think, right? Cast your votes. So if Bitcoin drops 30%, like we just saw on the charts, what do you think Milady's gonna do? What are you guys thinking? I'll give that a few seconds. We'll give it a solid minute or two. You guys all can vote. Real quick, I'll catch up on the chat. What's going on, brother, man? Wait till mid-February and buy because Bitcoin will bottom. And let's see, Tony B. Hi, everyone. Ravens is the new Milady's. I'm just saying, I live in Baltimore. Y'all are going to the Super Bowl, bro. It's already been said. Now that my Bucks are... You had to bring football up, man. My Bucks are out of the running, but it is what it is. We had a good season this year, so decent. It wasn't terrible. Come on, guys. If you guys haven't already, hit that. Make sure you guys vote. What do you guys think? If Bitcoin drops 30%, like we're saying, if Bitcoin drops 30% from, and I'm talking about 30% from this all-time high or a local high that we made, right? 30% from this local high. So 49,000, we drop down about 30%, which would technically be at a spot that I have as support at around, we'll call it the 34,000. Where do you guys think Milady's going to drop? Where do you guys think Milady's is going to drop? So we'll read the poll. So 20% are saying, 40% saying 20%, 20% are saying 55%, and 40% are saying 35%. And then now it just literally went, everybody's is completely even, 33, 33, 33. So no one thinks 45%. Everybody's pretty much saying either 20, 55, or 35. You know where I would say it's probably somewhere around, if Bitcoin drops 30%, we're most likely going to see a 45 to a 55% drop is what I'm thinking for Milady, right? Because remember, Milady's market cap is so small that we're going to see more of a dramatic move, most likely for a smaller cap project, right? So if Bitcoin was to do a 30% drop, we're most likely, in my opinion, going to see a bigger dramatic drop for Milady, which would probably put us at somewhere around the 45. We'll just call it the 45% mark is what I'm thinking we're most likely drop to. So the polls are still going and people are still putting in. But that's pretty much, I'm happy that you guys understand, that we're probably going to see and I'm not saying probably, like, I'm just saying if this happens, right? Hypothetically, if this happens, we're probably going to see somewhat of a big drop for Milady. So be prepared. Be prepared. You want to make sure you have all your ducks in a row and have all your dry powder ready so you guys can keep accumulating at these fractions of a price. Now, that's like the 30% drop is like almost not, I'm not going to say worst case scenario, but 30% drop is like, a bad scenario, right? It's a bad scenario, but it's not guaranteed. It's not guaranteed whatsoever. We could easily, this could have been the bottom or maybe a little bit more pain dropping down. Like I said, maybe we don't see that 30. Maybe we drop down to this 37.6 and then we start retracing up. If we were to drop down to this 37.6 right here at the next support level that I have mapped out, that would be from the 39,000 mark, would be about a 23% drop, which would kind of put us in line of what we saw on the last bull run cycle, right? About 23 would be on the low end. I don't think we're going to be mimicking exactly what we saw in that bull run, right? I don't think it's going to be like to the T, like, 30% exact. We'll probably see something like that, like a 23% drop, which would be healthy for the market, honestly. And that would be a great opportunity for us to add not only for Milady, but for a lot of your favorite altcoins. So that's pretty much what the game plan is for right now. I mean, you guys can see we perfectly bounced at this line today. I'm not like, when I pulled this up, I was like, wow. You know, when I make these freaking support lines and resistance, and they literally bounce exactly where I have them. I'm like, damn. So I'm reading the charts. You know, it's somewhat correct is what it looks like, right? Somewhat correct. So, but I honestly, I don't fear. I really don't fear. You know, it stinks to see your portfolio go back in the red. You know, but at the end of the day, this is what we're all here for, right? You got to have that pain, go through that pain, you know, but eventually we'll have some clear blue skies ahead of us, and, you know, all our portfolios will be well into the green, you know, but it's not going to be just this, like, you throw some money in it, just continue, you throw something in crypto and it just steadily moves up forever, right? You're going to have pain in the market, so be ready. No, let's see here. TJ said, yep, the Ravens are a bunch of Miladies. Oh, man. Tony, you going to let TJ say that, bro? Oh, man. So, let's look at some other projects. So, obviously, been looking at Solana, and now I'm looking at Solana even more because we just took a massive drop. So, you see how we saw this big red candle for Solana? A lot of times that's what I've been doing. I've been taking advantage whenever there's a dramatic drop, especially if it's a new low for today. I've been taking advantage of it, right? Obviously, the actual new low for today was over here, I believe, right? Yeah. So it was around $82 is where we bottomed out at. But you can see we're slowly but surely trickling back down towards there. I wouldn't be surprised as tonight maybe we see some sell pressure. And I'm going to definitely take advantage of some leverage trading on Solana, particularly because I'm real comfortable with the Solana chart. So I just want to stick to Solana and pretty much just see what I can do as far as keep my winning streak up. Looking at Solana's DeFi, let's see here. So what are the top trending for 6 hours? Bobo, what the hell? I don't know, guys. I've been staying away from the DeFi. I've been honestly staying away from DeFi for right now just because I don't know. Like I told you guys, I just got a bad taste in my mouth for DeFi. Let's look at, real quick, where I saved. There it is. Let's look at some of the stuff here. I saw a couple people on YouTube. Their thumbnails were talking about the remember the church that we were talking about yesterday, the God coin. They were talking about that. I guess the pastor, was taking all that money. So that's when it looks bad on crypto, right? So Japanese crypto advocate wins parliament seat. That's awesome. Bitcoin prices plunge below 40%. Down nearly 20% from post-ETF launch highs. Let's see here. Here's how low the BTC bears could bury the price. Let's go in and see. Let's see what these bears got in store for us. So let's see here. So Bitcoin BTC price just plunged below 40,000 for the first time since early December, taking its pullbacks from post-spot Bitcoin ETF approval highs above 49,000 to nearly 20%. Having shed over 3.5% since the start of the day, the BTC price was last changing hands just above 40,000. Reports that broke earlier on Monday allege that FTX, shout out to whoever was talking about FTX, which is currently going through bankruptcy proceedings and liquidating assets, sold as much as $1 billion of its Grayscale BTC Trust holdings. So it still has something to do with Grayscale. Grayscale has been really screwing us over. In the wake of the approval of spot Bitcoin ETFs earlier this month. Oh, wait, hold on. Sold as much as $1 billion of its Grayscale BTC holdings in the wake of approval of spot Bitcoin ETFs earlier in the month, explaining much of the outflows from the newly converted ETF. So let's see here. GBTC has seen about $2 billion in outflows since converting to the spot ETF. That compares to inflows of more than $4 billion to the newly launched spot Bitcoin ETFs from BlackRock and competitors. While net flows have been positive, grayscale outflows have seamlessly exceeded expectations, triggering nerves. And that's pretty much where we're at right now. With FTX sales now assuming to be over, some Bitcoin bulls might be hoping that the sell pressure is over. But the Bitcoin market seems to disagree as Bitcoin bears attempt to bury the price below 40,000. So the approval of spot Bitcoin ETFs in the U.S. earlier this month was a historic moment for Bitcoin. For the first time, investors in the U.S. will be able to get direct exposure to the movements in the Bitcoin price without having to buy or take custody of any Bitcoin themselves, which I don't understand why you would do that, but okay. The assumption is that this will unlock a wave of new demand from retail and institutional investors, big positive net inflows into nearly launched spot Bitcoin ETFs has so far proven this thesis correct. While new demand for ETF buyers is expected to be a long-term tailwind for the Bitcoin price, it hasn't been enough to prevent a deflation following an arguably excessive buildup of optimism in the Bitcoin market in the run-up to ETF approvals. And I'm going to skip a little bit to see if we can see what they have as far as predictions. So let's see here. So having slipped below its 21 and 50 DMAs, the Bitcoin price has now broken under December-January support in the 40s. That suggests a near-term test of November's highs in the 38s is on the cards. If this level in the 100 DMA at 39 are cleanly broken, the door will be open to drop all the way back to the long-term support turned resistance zone between 32 and 33. So you guys can see it's almost pretty much what I've been calling for, right? If we don't hold this particular TradingView is trying the hell out of me today. So if it doesn't hold what we saw today, where we bounced at around the 39.450, whatever you want to call it, at this spot right here, we're most likely going to be dropping down, like I said, somewhere around this 37.6. They're calling for a more of a dramatic drop, somewhere around down here at the 33. They're calling for around this drop right here, which would be a massive drop for Bitcoin. I don't know if I agree on that big of a drop. Like I said, I honestly put the line in the sand. That would be another 15% drop from where we're at right now. That would be a dramatic drop. But like I said, we've seen this before whenever we're really getting into these bull runs. So it could easily happen and we can still technically be bullish. But like I was telling you guys, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't move down that far. And like I said, this spot right here is some solid support that would be the next line that we would definitely want to hold at around 37.6. That would be a pivotal spot. If we were to bounce at something like that and then start taking off, we probably would be jumping up to 50 very, very fast. But, with articles like that, that's pretty much sums up how the market is right now, right? We went from 3 weeks ago being so bullish, Bitcoin's going to 100 grand, right? To now you can see that sums up what the atmosphere is in the crypto market right now. They're back to, trying to call out numbers, which, it's fairly, I understand why, because like they said, we did open Pandora's box and we broke that 40 mark, right? We broke that 40 mark. I already was saying this yesterday. I was like, if we break this 40,006, we're going to be dropping. And I said the next level was going to be this 39. And now I'm telling you guys, if we break this 39.4 that we've been holding, which we are not far from right now, we didn't see this massive move up. If we would have saw a nice little V-shape recovery back up towards this spot right here and at least bounced at the 40,600, I would be like, you know what? I think we don't really have to worry about anything right now, but we are hovering right over where we bounced at multiple times today. So I would not be surprised if we break down towards this 37.6. So, like I keep telling you guys, just be prepared. We got Dai over here. Dai's calling out that Bitcoin will bottom somewhere around mid-February, which, technically would make sense if you guys remember what we were just looking at in the charts. Bitcoin, every time we go through a bull market, Bitcoin sees these drops, right? Bitcoin sees these 30% drops. And if you look at the time frame, we technically this was January 7th till we started really moving back up was around the 28th, which about 4 weeks, right? 4 weeks. I think the time frame is going to be a little bit longer for us, honestly. I think the time frame is going to be a little bit longer for us, where we made this all-time high right here on the 11th. It's only been 11 days, actually. It feels like it's been like 4 weeks already. So if we were to go 4 weeks from the 11th, that would put us around mid-February of Bitcoin bottoming out somewhere in between, in anywhere these lines can be. We could easily, no one really knows what is exactly going to happen, right? We just have these lines because these are going to be our support. Obviously, we are definitely going to test these lines if we start breaking down, but any one of these lines could be the line in the sand where the sellers are overwhelmed, the buyers will come in. We're praying and hoping that it's most likely where we're at right now, but at least the next spot at that 37. That would be, at least a very bullish spot, because then that would mean that we only retreated or pretty much dropped down from its high. And that 49 would only be about 20% drop, 23% exactly. Versus you guys saw when we just mapped out when we were starting the bull run in 2020, 2021, we were seeing drops. It was making highs, a new high, 35% drop. And then it would jump up again after 4 or 5 weeks, make a new high, 25% drop. If we are making, something like this where there are 20% drops, we're probably going to see a faster run up on this next bull run. So, and Dai was saying, I got my money ready, and that's pretty much what I've been screaming. Just make sure you guys are prepared, right? I mean, if your funds are tied up, it is what it is, right? If your funds are tied up, then we're pretty much, what we're saying is we're giving you a roadmap so you don't get worried if we do drop down to those levels. You're going to be fine. If you can't take advantage of the dip, it is what it is, because at the end of the day, if you've been buying in on Milady at any of these levels, you've been buying in at a fraction of the price of what it's going to be when we get into this bull run. So it is what it is. You have your bag, you're ready. You don't even have to get involved with it, honestly. If we start dipping, you don't even have to look at the charts. I mean, obviously you come here and you can see what we have mapped out, so everything's still on track. But now let's see here. Jay said, we already read, talking about the Ravens. OG said, do you think Milady will start going up in a couple months? OG, I do believe it, but like I've been telling you guys, we are at the mercy of Bitcoin right now, right? We're at the mercy of Bitcoin, and we're really at the mercy of these big institutions right now and the miners, because remember yesterday we were talking about it. Miners are selling as well, not crazy amounts, but they're selling because they're preparing, to accumulate more equipment. So whenever the halving does occur, they can, they're still making the same amount of profit that they're making right now. Remember, after the halving, if let's say you have let's say you have 10 miners right now, and you're getting what 10 miners are going to provide to you as far as for Bitcoin mining. When we go through the halving, your profits, your intake of Bitcoin for you having those miners, those same 10 miners, is going to drop in half. So you think those institutions want to take a 50% cut? No, they're going to sell right now while Bitcoin is up plus $40,000, because they were selling last week, and they're going to accumulate miners, doubling up on their miners, so whenever the halving occurs, they're not going to see any kind of a hit on their income as far as their mining profits. So that's another thing. So we have, right now we're just in that little era of where we're just seeing we're getting hit with these it's not even really much retail, it's just massive institutions that are trying to get funds for whatever the case is, if it's for an ETF or if it's the miners trying to accumulate funds so they can fund their projects and their mining farms, or now just so happens FTX, their money gets released and they sold off $1 billion worth of Bitcoin today, so They were Solana. Let's see here. So missing out. So James was saying, "Sup, crypto FUD, just manipulation and shaking out whoever they can shake." Right? Pretty much. CM was saying, "Hey man, you said something about small projects and people turning 3,000 to 90K. Can we talk about where you find the small projects?" Yeah, definitely. We'll look into that in a minute here. And they were, yep, you are correct. They were, so what we were talking about was DeFi, and we'll get into it here in a second. And Dai was saying, we're not scared because we know this is an opportunity to load up big bag on all projects. You want to DCA. And Midwest, what's going on? I honestly can't buy anymore unless it goes back to the 30s market cap or below. I'll buy another 50 billion. There you go, bro. And that's what I'm saying, and trust me, Midwest, you're not alone. You're not alone, right? You're not alone. I'm sure a lot of obviously the buyers are exhausted as well. That's why we're not moving up. The sellers are still obviously in control. And a lot of the buyers like yourself are basically exhausted right now. And I mean exhausted as in they don't have a lot of funds free right now for them to continue to keep dollar cost averaging in, right? So 100% agree with you, bro. It is what it is. That's why I'm just preparing you guys for, if we are going to see some dips in Bitcoin, we might, if let's say you only have $100 left to dollar cost average in, maybe it would be best if you kind of just wait to see if maybe we're going to drop down towards this 200-day moving average, which would be somewhere around the 42, because I think that's going to be a pivotal spot that we will hold. If Bitcoin does break down towards 37,000, I think that's where we're going to probably end up being, somewhere around this 200-day moving average. So, and that would be, as of right now, where we're at right now, that would be somewhere around a 17% discount. We might even break below that. I really don't want to say it. I definitely will be dollar cost averaging in if we break below that for sure, like buying big chunks. But that's what I'm planning on right now, is us possibly dropping somewhere around there. So TJ said 99% chance of DeFi will wreck you. And I will say, CM, TJ is, he's telling you this because we care, right? DeFi is ruthless. DeFi doesn't care who you are, what you're doing, or nothing. It is a ruthless, this is the wild west of crypto. So, I'm going to explain some stuff about DeFi because, we're all here to make money, right? So, particularly looking at Solana, you're going to want to make sure you have a DeFi wallet, right? You can use a bunch of different DeFi wallets, particularly, right now I'm using, believe it or not, Crypto.com's DeFi wallet. Actually is, you can use a lot of different ecosystems like Arbitrum, Solana, Ethereum, Binance. You can use their Chronos. You can swap. You can basically go in between all those different ecosystems, but you have to make sure that let's say if you're funding your Solana wallet, you have to make sure you go into your DeFi and make sure you pull up your Solana wallet and you copy your wallet address, right? And then you're going to want to send, or you can actually buy directly off of your DeFi wallet. You can buy USDC or you can buy Solana, right? You're going to need those USDC. You're going to need either Tether or your Solana to make transactions on the Solana ecosystem, right? Once you get that established, now you're going to go on and you're going to, one of the charts that I use is Dex Screener. We all know about Dex Screener, right? There's a bunch of other ones. I use Dex Screener. There's another one that I use, but I'm pretty familiar with Dex Screener. They're all pretty much the same, right? They have different interfaces, but we're going to use Dex Screener for today. So I'm in, on the left, Solana ecosystem, right? Clicked into it. Now, what I usually look for, and I remember this is not financial advice, and I want you guys to be very careful because DeFi is, like I keep telling you guys, big warning just popped up across your screen. Be freaking careful, right? Be freaking careful. Be freaking careful. So go into here, and a lot of times what I'm looking for is a couple things, right? right now you can see a lot of the top trending projects are they're already kind of gone on their run. You have Myro, you have Myra, we have Dog with Hat. All these projects were like last week, 2 weeks ago. They've all freaking went crazy, right? But I think a lot of them are all cooling off. You can see Myra down 32% for the 24 hours. You can see Dog with Hat down 22%, right? So a lot of these projects, I'm not saying they're over with, but they're going to go on the back burner for right now. So what you're looking for is new pairs. We're going to be looking for new pairs. You want to get real risky, you can go into the 1 hour. And I usually will immediately go in and look to click on liquidity, and I want to look at who has the most liquidity on the 1 hour charts as far as new pairs, right? And the first one I see right here is this project that just came out. I'm not telling you guys to buy into any of these, because a lot of times these 1 hours are going to be 98% chance they're going to be rug pulls. So you have to be very careful. But if you throw $5, $6, $10, $20 in on some of these, they might stick, right? Because, and I'm going to show you guys in a minute, but if I'm, really trying to find a project, like what's a new Myro that's going to be coming out, that's maybe dropped, that's out right now, and I will look around, and first thing, like I said, I'm looking at liquidity, and I'm going to pop up. So right now, 6 hour chart, the highest liquidity there is a 41,000 right here. I'm kind of, 41,000 is still really low for liquidity. And remember, liquidity is how much money's in that project that can be sold off, right? So if there's low liquidity, even if you're up 1,000,000%, you're not going to be able to cash out if there's low liquidity or no liquidity, right? So you have to make sure that you're peeping game on what the liquidity is at. So right now, with the 41,000, I honestly, too risky for me. I'd stay the hell away from all that. Now I'm going into the 24 hour. These are 24-hour new pairs. Liquidity, we have something right here that's at around 96,000. 96,000 liquidity with $1 million market cap. I'll check it out and see. But you can see right here, you see how it already went on a double top? This project's pretty much done. I will tell you with DeFi, it's in and out. People are dropping real quick. It's like who can get into the project first and hope that it's not a rug pull. Get that quick, whatever you're going to get, massive profits real quick, like as far as gains, and hop out, right? You'll usually see the projects look like this where they're double tops, because you have the first runners come in, make their money, sell off, all of them will sell off, and then you might see another like almost dead cat bounce where it goes on another round again, sell off. I mean, look at this. This project's dead, but I'm going to go over here and look at the top traders just so we can look at and see. You can see top traders for this project. Someone bought in 17,000, sold 24,000. So that was, you can see profits to loss, $6,000 profits. Someone else, 22,000, sold 28,000. So not bad. You can see, there was money to be made on this project, but really not too impressive compared to some of these other ones that we've seen. So looking again, let's look at this project right here. Whatever the hell you want to call it. What is this? Fairly new project. Been out for about 6 hours right here. You can see right here it says the pair Yo to Sol. 6 hour project. So this is so fairly new. And let's just look at the top gainers, or the top traders here. You can see the top trader, the person that made the most in this project, put in $1,900 and they sold 57. They sold basically and made a profit of about $3,700, right? You can see, and I guarantee whoever made this purchase probably bought in right when this thing dropped, right? Took a risk, bought in, and sold somewhere around this high, got the hell out, and then went and did it probably 3 more times today, right? Look at this one right here. This one's probably the most impressive. This wallet right here bought in $87 worth. This is what I was telling you guys. Even $87 is a little bit more than what I'll risk a lot of times for these DeFis. So I'll usually me personally, I'll throw like $20, because if it's a rug pull, I won't lose any sleep over it, right? But if it does something crazy, then you can like the other day I threw something in $10 and it freaking 20x in like minutes, So for this project, you can see this person threw in $87 and look what they cashed out. $32.66 with a profit of almost $3,200 off of an $87 investment. That's craziness. That's honestly craziness. But that shows you, it easily can happen in DeFi. But with all these victory stories, there's 10 times more rug pull stories, right? So just like TJ was saying, you can sit there and look, and you can sit here and get involved in this. You're gonna learn quickly that this is, like I keep telling you, this is high risk gambling right here. That's the only way you can pretty much put it down is high risk gambling. Buying in on dog with hat was a solid thing, right? Whoever bought in on dog with hat ends up being a solid project. Market cap went all the way up to $200 million. Same thing with Myro, right? This one right here, Punky, whatever you want to pronounce it, same thing. $36 million. You will see some of these projects that'll actually be projects, and like Bunk made it to the big timers, right? Is on a lot of the big exchanges. Started off right here on here. So imagine the people that bought in on Bunk when it was at a $500,000 market cap, and then it went all the way up to $1 billion, $1.5 billion, because we've been mapping Bunk. So, money is to be made, and this is the way you can get in on a lot of projects early before they're actually dropped on the big exchanges, right? But it's very risky. And I'd say 1 out of 2,000 projects are ever going to do what a Bunk does, right? Maybe it's even worse. Maybe 1 out of 5,000 projects are going to do what a Bunk did, right? And get on a major exchange. But, like I said, have fun. This is gambling. It's like going to the slot machine. So, you want to play with caution is what you want to do. So, I hope that kind of gave you a little preview of what you can do. It's fun, you know what I'm saying? I dabble in it here and there. I've been taking a break as of today just because I have I got done wrong yesterday on the DeFi. I'll just say that. I got done wrong on 2 projects. So I had to I'm sitting here today doing leverage, 100x leverage, and I made all my money back times, a few. But I was just pissed last night. I woke up in the middle of the night and I bought in on a project that just dropped. And like 5 minutes later, it was like, that shit got pulled. I was like, bro, I'm going back to sleep. And I was pissed. I was just like, what the hell? That's what I get for waking up in the middle of the night and trying to freaking jump on DeFi. So, let's see here. Just jumping in on the chat. Went on a nice rant. So I see big 5-minute losers with a decent 6-hour that has at least some liquidity and try and snipe a candle. There you go. That's what it is. It's like trying to snipe those green candles real quick. And like I can always say, in and out, right? It sucks because like I got in on Myra early. Right? And I bought in, made a quick little whatever the hell, I don't even remember what I made, and I hopped out, right? Because I'm like, I'm out. Hot potato. And then you go back and you look, and Myro is actually a legit project, and it's up, it like literally 10x from where I even sold. So if I would have kept it, I would have made even more. But, it's just like you hold that risk of holding on to these projects, right? You hold that risk of holding on to these projects. So that's why with DeFi, it's just like little play money. I mean, like basically little small, very small increments is what I'm willing to throw in there. I have been in DeFi where I've thrown thousands of dollars into projects. This was back on the last DeFi season. I was doing well. I throw in on like $1,000, $2,000 on a project, and hop out real fast, double my money, and I'm out. And I did that multiple times, but now I don't feel comfortable doing that right now. I just do not, right? I'd rather, if I'm going to be playing with that money, I'd rather go throw it in on a long-term project like, Milady. I'd rather, get Solana or, like I told you guys, Arbitrum, something I'm looking at right now. Other stuff that's more secure. It's going to be longer term, profit turnaround. But I know that someone's not going to freaking take my money in 5 minutes from now, right? At least they'll take it in slow increments. Just kidding. So Chris was asking who knows about bricks. We all know about bricks, bro. We all know about bricks. If you go and check the channel, I've been covering bricks for a while. I just haven't made anything recently about bricks. I really haven't. You can see, look at the fib retracement lines. I know bricks was one of the top gainers today. I was looking at it. I didn't know if I was going to bring it up or not, but So Bricks is definitely doing all right today. Nice little run. You can see nice little gigapump. What I've been telling people about Bricks is, if you can get in like at any of these spots where it's low and run up on one of these gigapumps, get in, get your profit, and reposition yourself. 100% up, reposition yourself, because most likely what's going to happen with Bricks is like it happens every time. You see these quick run-ups and it goes back down. Quick run-ups, goes back down, right? And if you notice, it slowly is going down as well in between these gigapumps. So it's back down to about 5 cents. It's not, to me, I feel like this is almost like a DeFi play as well. It's just like you want to buy in when you see that big pump, maybe hop out and reposition yourself, right? Because you can see it's kind of like a heartbeat line, it just like will have these quick spurts, and then it kind of will just retrace, go dormant for a few months, and then you'll see a big spike, go dormant, right? And you guys know, with Bricks and Moon as well, because we're covering Moon, I don't know, I haven't heard anything as far as an update on Reddit, but they were, going to basically stop using Moon particularly for an incentive to post and interact on their whatever you want to call it, their platform. So that kind of pissed a lot of people off because they were invested in Moon, and it affected Bricks as well. So, but like I keep telling you, Bricks, you can definitely make money if you can catch it around that 4 or 5 cents and just run it up on one of these really quick gigapumps. Definitely can make some money on that for sure. Now, let me see here. Just catching up on the chat here. Dai said, this is our chance to buy in mid-February on our favorite projects. TJ said, I try to see... Okay, I already read that one. CM was saying, I need to get a laptop to be able to get all up in the know with the charts and stuff. Yeah, yeah, I mean, I will tell you especially if I'm trading like that, and you want to do quick, you want to make sure you have a laptop or even a tablet. You can even get a tablet. They're cheap. They're like $100, and you can, make sure you're connected to Wi-Fi, and you can pull the charts up. As far as deck screener, if you're going to be, if you want to jump in on the DeFi, have your map out what projects. So you just went and did what I just said. Not giving out any financial advice, but you went and checked out, went and looked at, the new pairs, and you found a project that's interesting, has good liquidity, looks like it's a secure project. All right, now you want to make the buy. Well, you have it up on your tablet. Now you can use your phone as the buy, right? Buy and sell, and you can use the charts on your tablet. So you're buying and selling on your phone, and you have the charts on your laptop or your tablet, right? So you can kind of do quick plays like that. That's what I was doing whenever I first was in DeFi a couple years back. I would have multiple screens, and I'd be just, doing quick moves. But I'd have my, because I was using my DeFi wallet on my phone, I'd have that on me, like on right there, ready. Everything ready. Before I even was looking at charts, I made sure that I had everything there as far as if it was a Solana, if it was Chronos, whatever the case is, I have everything ready there to make the transactions like bam, jump in, because it's fast. It's real quick. So just an update on the poll. Looks like we have 30% saying that if Bitcoin drops 30%, that Milady's is only going to drop 20%. I don't know, guys. I don't know about that one. And then we have the other 30% said 55. So we're like two extremes. Half of you guys are saying that it's not going to dip that much. If Bitcoin drops 30%, Milady's is going to do better, and it's only going to drop down 20%. And then we have the other extreme, which I'm on that side, where Bitcoin drops 30%. I think that I think we're going to see somewhere around a 45 to 55% drop, which would be nice because that means that's 55% discount that you can buy on a project that we know is eventually going to get into the $1 billion market cap. So get a glass of water here. Tales from the Streets said, ladies gang in the building. Salute right back to you, brother, man. Right back at you, man. And Dai was saying Bitcoin RSI will reset to 50 on the weekly, which is around mid-February. Dai has it mapped out. Mid-February. Don't tell him anything different. Mid-February. Mid-February, guys. Anybody want to look at any projects? We looked at bricks. Anybody want to look at anything else? Speak now or forever hold your peace. Told you guys, I'm looking at Arbitrum. That's going to be my next. I think that's going to be my next big buy as I accumulate more Milady. I think I'm really waiting to see. I'm going to have patience, like I always tell you guys. I'm going to wait to see if we can get anything under this 161 for Arbitrum. Definitely going to see. Now, the only thing that really, the only thing I can say on Arbitrum that I'm not too fond of is when you look at the circulating supply. Look at the circulating supply versus the total supply. The total supply is 10 billion. The circulating supply is only 1.2 billion. So there's only 12% of the circulating supply is in circulation right now, which means you have a lot more coins that are going to eventually go into circulation. I haven't looked at the white paper. I mean, they could have a white paper where we're talking 10 years from now, right? That it will slowly get released. But you guys know the things that I look at. Market cap and circulating supply are usually the big thing that I look at. Market cap for this particular project, a layer 2 off of Ethereum that has a massive DeFi that's building right now, is only about $2 billion market cap, relatively low. I'm anticipating our Arbitrum could be a competitor. Maybe not take out Ethereum, or it definitely doesn't want to take out Ethereum because it's on an Ethereum network, but something big, a big layer 2 project, I think, could definitely get up towards like $20-30 billion here in this next bull run. So, definitely something to look at. Yo, you know what I looked at? So I'm glad you brought that up, TJ. Look at the year. Look at the yearly. Look at the two projects that are up. Was that? Is that in? I always forget. Is this inject? This project is up. Look at the bubbles. Almost over 16%. And then I believe that's Caspa, right? That's Caspa. Two projects that I'm not really too familiar with. But Caspa, I mean, we always look at the charts. You guys can see. We always look at the charts. But look at the top. Those are the top gainers for the year. Isn't that crazy? I didn't know Caspa ran up like that this year. I mean, for a big project, 1,500%. That's crazy. If you guys look for the last year, I mean, you guys can see. You thought Solana was like the number one killer. It's only up 250% compared to some of these other projects that are up 1,600, 1,500. Is crazy. Render's not bad at 380. I mean, Bitcoin's still up for the year 73% right now. That's nuts. I was looking at a couple other projects. Like, look at Gala. Gala is down 60%. Isn't that crazy? I mean, that's crazy. I think Gala's going to have a rough time just because there's a couple other projects that are competing with that big gaming space, right? So I feel like, and I know there was a lot of FUD out there for Gala as well. Like, you go back 6 months ago, and they just never been able to, get back to where they were. It's like this past year, they really haven't done much. If not, they've actually gone down. Unless they were, I know Gala was hit pretty hard, like under a penny hard. TJ said Caspa is barely on major exchanges. I know, that's crazy. What's Caspa's market cap at nowadays? So it's at basically $2.2 billion market cap. That's crazy. So I mean, it's like right there where you would call it's getting into the big market caps, right? It's not, it's ranked number 38 as far as market cap. So it could still, I guess, be considered a mid cap. But when you start getting up to the multi-billions, in my eyes, you're looking at, those are the bigger cap projects for sure. CM was asking, what site is this with circles? Just look up Crypto Bubbles. Crypto Bubbles, and it'll pop up. Crypto Bubbles. And Dai was saying, in crypto, it ain't over till it's over. Dai, bro. You're my boy, bro. CM was saying, CryptoFud is the only one that actually answers the chat and is super appreciated. Yeah, definitely, brother. I feel like this is what we do here, right? This is what we do here. This is what my gift is gonna be for you guys. Even when we get big and we get in this bull run and there's freaking 500 people in the in the chat, I'm gonna do my damnedest to answer every single question I can, because that's what I want to do to set myself apart. And I do see a lot of YouTubers try to I do see a lot of them that aren't like with like the I Am George's. He can't answer every freaking question. You see, his streams have gone down a little bit in the last couple of weeks, but when we were booming a few weeks ago, I Am George had like 10,000 people in one stream at a time. You can't freaking, when it gets like that, there's just no possible way, but I'll make sure all my OGs, you guys are all going to have a wrench. So at least when you guys talk, it'll stand out, above everybody else. And then obviously, not saying you guys have to, but when we get up there, obviously doing even a super chat for like $1, it'll stand out, and I'll make sure to see any questions that you guys have. But for right now, while we're still small town folks, I will make sure to answer each and every one of your questions. And I ask you guys questions too, right? You guys answer my stuff, so it's a community that we're building. So, but yeah, I mean, it's just crazy going back to these bubbles and just seeing where we've gone in the last 12 months, what we've gone through, as far as a lot of these projects. And what's crazy is a lot of these projects really started making these moves in the last like 2 or 3 months, really, So you have a lot of these projects that are up 500, even 100, 200%. That's in the last like 2 months, right? We've seen a big move. So going through what we're going through right now and seeing a bit of a cool off is to be expected, right? Is to be expected. It really, if you've been around, especially if you were around just in the last bull run for Bitcoin, like I keep pointing and showing you guys in the charts, as we were on our way up, we would make new highs and then we would retrace 20, 30%, and everybody would be, it's going to zero. I'm not even lying to you. Literally, it's going to zero. It's over with, right? And then Bitcoin would just, out of nowhere, a few weeks later, a month or two later, fly up and make a new high, right? And then we'd go through the whole process again. Bitcoin's going to 200,000, Bitcoin's going to 1 million, and then Bitcoin would retrace 20%. And it's over and over and over, right? It's over and over and over. It's like I tell you guys, especially people with crypto, I guess we all have short attention spans, and we have very bad short-term memory, or whatever the case is. If it's short, long-term, but we forget, that like the shit that we've gone through, just a few weeks ago, and it's just like take it. You go back a few weeks ago, and everybody was bullish. Now it's the bears are back, right? Let's see here. TJ was saying ICP might hit your buy-in point. I know, bro. I was checking it out today. I'm glad you brought that up. I've been scoping that like a freaking hawk, like a little squirrel running around in the field, and I'm a big ass eagle, just sitting there, just watching. It's not there yet, though, bro. It is not there yet. I am waiting for at least a lower $9 ICP. Is it gonna do that? Who knows, right? Who knows? If it does, I will be ecstatic. And what's messed up is if it drops down towards like $9, I probably will be like, I don't know if I'm gonna buy in right now, because what if it goes down to $6? But I don't know. I'll probably slap myself and then be like, bro. Because remember, I sold it around 10. I'd like to get it. Obviously, I want to get as low as possible, but I'd like to be able to just be like, well, good. I sold at 10, even though I missed the all-time or the local high. I bought back in at around $5. I would be very happy if I'm able to say something like that. But in order for ICP to drop down towards those numbers, I mean, that's obviously a 40 or 50% drop, 45% drop from where it's at down to about $5.70. I really, I don't think we're going to have that unless we see a big dramatic drop on Bitcoin, right? I'm not ruling it out, but I'm going to be watching. Like I said, I'm a hawk flying around this chart, just watching and waiting, ready to pounce. Dai said mid-February, loading up big bags, lowest price, trust the charts. I hear you, Dai. And that falls into, remember, me and Dai are always saying, and I'm sure other people, is patience, guys. Have that patience, because if we do see, a little bit more pain in the market, if you have patience, you might be able to buy in on some of these fractions of a price. As far as Milady, our next line in the sand is going to be where we pretty much dropped. This last big drop right here was pretty much around the $4 and $4, the 49 right here. But I think that's going to be blown through. If we see a dramatic drop, like I said, I honestly am thinking we're going to blow through these supports, and we're going to probably just go right back towards this 200A and retest this 200A, which would be somewhere around the 42. Dai, I appreciate that, brother. Dai said mid-February, lowest prices. I save big bag. Bitcoin will drop more. It will bottom out. Thank you so much, Dai, for the 5 super chat. I appreciate that. Again, Dai is trying to get that word out there. Mid-February is what he's calling. We checked the charts. It does seem like it is in play as far as mid-February. We're gonna probably see if we're gonna see a continue pain in the market. We're probably. I mean, think about it. Mid-February seems like it's like far away. It's literally 3 weeks away from now, right? So it really is not far from now. So we could be going into just a little bit more pain in the next few weeks, maybe month. But always remember. We got the halvening coming in April, right? That's 2.5 months away from now. You better believe that we're gonna start this little bearish crap right here. Is not gonna be long term. This is gonna be a short-lived thing. And like I always tell you guys, from my experience, is when you are in that full-blown bull market, the number one thing that you're always gonna tell yourself, or you're gonna be asking yourself, is why the hell did I not buy more? Why the hell did I not buy more? Right? You're going to be looking at your portfolio, and it's going to be up a few X or whatever the case it is, and you're going to be like, damn it. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be like, damn it, why didn't I buy more? Why didn't I accumulate more? And you're going to be looking back at some of these prices right here, and you're going to be like, I can't believe Milady we had these dips down to 42. It was sitting at around 51 for a month and a half. Why the hell didn't I buy more, right? So I appreciate that, Dai. I really do. Thank you so much for the support on the super chat. I thank you so much. Free was saying I'm going to buy more when Ladies drops. Exactly. I mean, we're going through a massive discount as we speak right now, right? I mean, we bottomed out at the 51.40. We're only at the 51.7, right? So I caught the low, the first drop right here at around 51.5 is what I caught, and rode it up. You know what I'm saying? I didn't sell anything, but I was like, all right, nice V-shaped recovery. But then we ended up, you could see, we cleanly got rejected right here, hit our head on this 20-day moving average right here. And you can see, how these SMAs, we haven't talked about the SMAs today. You can see how the simple moving averages are all above us, right? Going parallel. That's a bearish sign right there. That's a very bearish sign that we are trending towards the downside, obviously, right? I mean, we don't need these to tell us that, but these are good to have, because you can see if we do see any kind of moves up, it's most likely for right now, while we're kind of on this downward trend, it's going to keep hitting its head on this 20-day moving average, which, let's just say we move up right now, it'll probably only go up to about 52, right? And then it'll kind of form a couple candles, hitting its head on it, get rejected, and then come right back down to pretty much where we're at right now. So, but eventually there will be a point, could be today, tonight, tomorrow, maybe in the next few days, where we will hit a spot where we're going to find that support, solid support, and we will see something like this, a V-shaped recovery, and we'll start moving ourselves back up. This could be where we find a spot for some support, and we kind of just go in a boring consolidation spot, right? Where we kind of just go sideways for the next few weeks. It could definitely play out like that as well. Honestly, the sideways action, it kills me. I'd rather see what we're seeing today, because at least we're getting into tempting price actions where, you're getting these discounts. So if you want to, buy in more, you can buy in more. When we're going sideways, it's so freaking, it's just like, ugh. You just want, you're like, bro, either go up or go down. Stop freaking, you've been at the same price for the last 3 days. It's so annoying. So annoying. So, real quick, a couple things with Bitcoin, because we have to just keep our eye on Bitcoin. The fact that we have tested this spot right here 1, 2, 3, basically 4 times. I will say it is solid support for right now, but we do not want to keep testing this 39.450 pretty much is what it's at. We don't want to keep testing this because it's eventually going to break. It eventually is going to break, and you can see even for Bitcoin, we're looking at the 30-minute, same exact looking chart right here. You can see the 20-day SMA. It maybe tries to break out, and it gets rejected. Only 1.5 candles above, bounces right back below, and you can see it just continuously hits its head on the 20-day SMA as it's slowly moving down. We've hit a spot where we flatlined for now. We'll see how it goes. We most likely flatlined because the institutional money that's been causing these big sell-offs is not in the offices right now. We'll see how it goes tomorrow. And you kind of wonder, let's say they have plans to sell maybe a few more $1 billion of Bitcoin, and you're like, why the hell are they not selling just all of it at once? Well, they don't want to wreck the market, right? Because at the end of the day, they do want to see Bitcoin do good, but they need to get their funds. They need to open up liquidity for their ETF. So the way that they see the safest way is to do it in increments like they're doing it. They've been, sending 1,000 Bitcoin over to a certain wallet that's on an exchange. I believe it's on Coinbase that they're selling, right? And that's how people are kind of anticipating the sale right as it's happening. And then obviously we saw today FTX, that was just a one-off thing where they were their assets were unfrozen. They were able to sell because of their bankruptcy, selling $1 billion worth of Bitcoin, right? So, today particularly was a day where we saw big institutional. We even call FTX a big institution because $1 billion worth of Bitcoin, that's a big chunk, right? We saw big institutions with the sell pressure today, but eventually we're gonna get past all this. Grayscale they know how much they need to sell. They know how much they need to sell. Like we were saying during the weekend streams, we didn't know what was ahead of us for this week. We were hoping that they were done selling, because last week they started selling, and that's what started us on our downward movement. Well, this coming Monday, you can see they're still selling off. Hopefully they're done, or we can at least get past this crap by this week, and they have all their liquidity that they need for the ETF, so we can start, at least we don't have those big sell pressures like that as far as, causing a cascade on a downward movement for us right now. So let's see here. So TJ say people are sorting BTC to 32.8 is crazy. Anyone want to make a halvening prediction? And Dai said the thing is they are selling at a target price. When you sell big order, do you have a pricks target? What do you mean by pricks target? See how selling. So let's see here. So selling at a price target, and it takes some time for the target to be met to sell. Oh, I see what you're saying. So do you think that's why they're doing it in increments? Because obviously when they make a big sale, their price target probably it's not there anymore, right? Like if they want to sell at 41, they sell off 1,000 Bitcoin, it's going to drop the market. So I'm sure, I don't know how that works. I've never sold $1 billion worth of Bitcoin, so. So Free was saying, what's y'all's opinion on Floki? I don't have any, but just curious. For Floki, Floki, nothing negative against Floki. We'll pull up the charts. I feel like Floki's like one of those old school 2001 meme coins that really never. I mean, it did have a nice run when it first came out, but I feel like it really never got the exposure that a lot of the other meme coins got, like Doge and Shiba. So I just feel like it was tapped its potential, right? You can see since back in September, which wasn't that long ago, it has been making some moves, right? Floki is on some major exchanges nowadays, but what I'm saying is I feel like Floki is going to be in the realm of Doge and Shiba, like the older meme coins that I think aren't going to get into the spotlight when we get into this next bull run for the meme coins. I think there's going to be a lot of big players that come out and outshine some of the old school meme coins is what I'm thinking. Now, could be completely wrong. Floki could, come out, like I said, never really had the exposure that, a lot of the other meme coins got. So this could be its time, right? But if I was to bet money, I think other projects like Bunk, Ladies, even Pepe, maybe, dare I say, like Myro. You haven't really heard anything about Sneak recently, but and there could be other meme coins that come out right before the bull run that get that momentum, get that exposure, get that hype behind it, and you could see projects like Floki really not do the numbers that some of these other newer meme coins are going to see in the bull run. So that's my opinion as far as like Floki and really Doge and Shiba. Like, nothing against them. I just feel like their time is not come and gone. But as far as like that big hype, I feel like it has come, for some of those projects. And there's going to be some other opportunities for other meme coins to really shine. So let's see here. Dai said, I sell at 100K and it takes time. Damn, boy. Selling $100,000 transactions? I hear you, right? Because, at the end of the day, you guys, even, I didn't know it was with 100K. I've made $10,000, $20,000 transactions, right? Never made $10,000, so I never had to really pause because it wasn't a big market mover. Like, you know what I'm saying? If I sold $20,000, it was usually in Ethereum. So it wasn't a big market mover, right? Because the liquidity was there. I don't know about, when you start getting up to 100,000, $1 million, $1 billion, they're not going to let just $1 billion transaction go through usually, right? It's going to be in increments, most likely. So like you said, it will take time. It will take time. And especially with Grayscale, they're selling, massive amounts. Like you could see they're sending like to their wallet at a time, like 2,000, 9,000 Bitcoin. Like, you're talking about thousands of Bitcoin, right? So they're selling massive amounts. So I'm sure they're selling it or they're being forced to sell it in increments and not all at once because they don't want to do that big of a market manipulation as far as the price. CM said, I flunked out on it, lost big on Floki, got in too late. Yeah. Oh, and that's another thing, Dai. Just like you said, if the volume's not there, you're right. Because remember, when you're selling, someone's buying what you're selling, right? That's what it's all about. You're exchanging. We're swapping hands. So you're exactly right. If someone's not buying at the time, they're not going to really let those transactions in full go through. So that is another thing. Marlon said, "Hey, if they have a sell target, they also should have a buy target, right?" Probably. They're not selling out. If you look at Grayscale's wallet, they have thousands and thousands and thousands of Bitcoin. They're selling like little, like small percentages of what they're holding just so they can free up some liquidity for their ETF. So I don't even think at the end of the day, like what they're selling, it's small to them. They're not even probably looking to really to wreck the market to try to buy back in at a fraction of the price. They've been doing that for the last 2 years. Right? A lot of these institutions like BlackRock, Grayscale, even Michael Saylor, ARK Investments, all these big institutions that own the top wallets for Bitcoin, they've been accumulating in the last 2 years, right? They've been buying all in at the 20s. Some of them, if they were smart, buying in massive when we dropped down to 15, 16,000. So I don't think that they're really looking for the market to get wrecked, right? Because they hold so much. I think, like I said, with Grayscale particularly, is they're just making they're opening up liquidity for their ETFs and stuff like that. So to us it's big. To them, they're selling off small little increments of Bitcoin. But they have a certain amount that they're going to sell, and like I'm saying, I wouldn't be surprised in this next week or two they're going to be done with whatever liquidity that they're trying to gain. So, and that would kind of go inside with what Dai was saying as far as us kind of going into mid-February as far as bottoming out. So it probably all will play out, and then it probably will play out as well as, like I've been telling you guys, for Bitcoin. Whenever we see, whenever we get into the bull run, we see a 20-30% drop right before the actual run. That would probably play in as well, something like that. So Mex, what's going on? He said, big discount for us. Can't wait for Milady to go down to 3 levels, so we will get a big bag for everyone for us, 100%. And Free said, just bought 3 billion ladies for less than $200. If it drops more in a couple of weeks, I'll make another purchase. Exactly, bro. I just added $1 billion, this morning, and I was like $52. I was like, hell yeah. Last week I was buying them at like 75. So I was like, hell yeah, right? That's a bargain right there. That is a deal. That's like if you go to the grocery store and they got the buy one get one free right now on your favorite whatever the hell you like to snack on or eat, and you're gonna buy it anyway, and now it's buy one get one free. You're like, hell yeah! You feel like you just robbed the shit out of somebody, right? BOGO at Publix. See, I didn't say Publix because I know some people are like, Publix. I don't know how far Publix has expanded, but down south, yeah, the Publix is like, that's like, we get those BOGOs. You go to Publix, there's going to be BOGOs everywhere, so. For sure. So, just to recap, they're up in Kentucky now, nice. I got family that work for corporate for Publix. Like, they're like big wigs, because Publix is, their headquarters is over here in right out of Tampa, just out of Tampa, over here in like Central Florida. So I have multiple family members that actually are in the corporate, like big wigs that look over like regions for Publix and stuff like that. So I worked for Publix when I was like a teenager, and so did my siblings, my brother and sister. My brother still works. He's one of them that he's actually high up. He's in corporate. He went to school and got his college degree and went back and, got into corporate. So definitely a Publix family over here. But I will say they're expensive. I will say that. Yeah, CM said, I have family that retired from Publix with stock options that made millions. Hell yeah, bro. I always hear that story. The other stories is, remember I just told you guys I worked for Publix when I was like, younger, a teenager. Now I run into people that I worked with, and they're all, some of them, that stuck it out. Publix, you guys stick it out 20 years, and now they're all like assistant managers at different Publixes, and they know my family is in corporate. So I walk in, they're like even more like, with the red carpet, and I see them talking to other people like, his brother's a corporate and so like that. I was like, hell yeah. I feel like sometimes I walk into some of them, I feel like a king, right? No discounts, but Publix is, everybody's nice, but they treat you a little bit more nicer, right? Because they know you got family and corporate. So, but real quick, just let's go over a recap of what we've gone through today, right? So again, guys, we've held this level right here at 39.4. We need to hold this, right? But I don't want to see us keep retesting this, because if we keep retesting this, we're most likely going to break it. But I say this, and we could tomorrow wake up and 9:30 hits, the market opens up, and Grayscale starts selling again. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Remember, today we saw a little bit extra sell pressure because of FTX. Their $1 billion of funds were basically unfrozen for their bankruptcy, and they were able to sell on top of Grayscale selling and creating that sell pressure for today. So that's why we saw just this massive dip for today, right? We're looking like we want to try to retrace. I think right now we're going to kind of hang around where we're at. Be nice if we saw a V-shaped recovery somewhere around this 40-60, even if we get rejected at this next spot that's going to be resistance. But remember, guys, if we do break this 39.4, I'm looking like we're most likely going to retrace somewhere around this 37.6. And I feel like that's going to be the line in the sand that we really need to hold, right? And that's going to be for Bitcoin. If we see a drop like that for Bitcoin, I know we already discussed it, but if we see a drop like that for Bitcoin from where it's currently at right now, you're looking at somewhere around a 5% drop for Bitcoin, which is really nothing crazy, right? Nothing crazy, but it will increase the bearishness of the market, and you'll see your favorite alts really retracing. If we see a 5% drop, we're most likely going to see a 15 to a 20% drop for Milady, right? So you guys just be cautious. Have that dry powder on the side for not just Milady, but all your favorite projects, because we might see opportunity for us to accumulate more, right? And just get those discounts in. So, that's why we're going over and we're just looking at, different scenarios, right? Hopefully we bottomed out and we'll start, bouncing up from here. We'll see as time goes from there. But as far as the markets for the day, everything's pretty much in a sea of red, which, it's to be given, right? Bitcoin had a rough day today. If you look in the hourly, we're starting to form up some greens, right? We're starting to form up some greens and see. Look at FTX sold off $1 billion, and their coin, which I can't even believe is still around, FTT, is up 7% today. That makes sense, right? So see, just want to look at a recap for Milady's market cap, sitting at around $38 million, guys. So we are at a fraction, $38 million fraction. Right now, you guys can buy 1 billion Miladys for $51. Obviously, you have to pay your fees or whatever from whatever exchange you buy it from, but $51 for a billion Milady right now is a snag right now. Let me see if I can pronounce this. Is it Waichi? Waichi? I hope I pronounced that correctly. What's up, bro? I'm glad you were able to make it. He said, bro, I'm just catching it live. I've always have listened when I get off work. Nice, dude. Thank you so much for watching after the fact, right? I always tell everybody, we'll have like 20, 30 people solid during the lives, but after the fact, we'll have like 300-400 people come behind us and watch the streams. And I appreciate every single one of you guys. If you guys are watching this after the fact, I appreciate it. Getting your knowledge in, and supporting the channel. I really do appreciate that. And Waichi, thank you so much for joining, bro. Thank you so much for joining. Yeah, so we were just going over a recap. Like today's been a rough day, but we're going to pull through. And Milady is still on track to melt faces, guys. So you guys just be safe out there. Like I told you guys, dollar cost average in. We might have some more pain in the market ahead of us. We'll have to see how it goes. As far as Bitcoin, because Bitcoin's dictating the whole market. But for now, looks like we have bottomed out at that 39.4, which you guys can go back and fact check me. This line of support has been there for weeks. For weeks, it's been there. Fact check me. It's been there for weeks. So we'll have to see how it goes. But other than that, Waichi, we're about to end the stream, but I appreciate you coming in. Make sure you're subscribed so you can check us out every day. Lizzie real quick said it's rough. Gonna need to file bankruptcy if it keeps dropping. Nah, Lizzie, you're gonna be good, girl. You're gonna be good. Just keep dollar cost averaging in. Make sure you're not, using money that you're gonna need anytime soon. We'll be fine. We're gonna be back up in no time, guys. I guarantee it. Marlon, I almost read what you said and then you deleted it, so now I can't. It always makes me think that you said something about me, bro. Just come out and say it, man. Don't delete your post. Just say it. Just kidding. I'm going to be watching. Oh, nice. I appreciate that, YG. So I'm going to be watching my Solana for tonight. You guys know I've been doing my 100x leverage trading, so I'm going to be watching it. If you guys are trying to mimic what's going on here, obviously I'm on the 1 minute chart. I have the MA ribbons. These are going to be your SMA moving averages. Like I said, the 1 minute, and I'm kind of just waiting. What I've been doing is I've been actually longing the markets when we see these dramatic drops and we make new bottoms locally. I'll go ahead and drop a long real quick because a lot of times we'll retrace. We still are heading down, but we'll retrace. And believe it or not, something like this move right here will pick you up a 50 to 75% gain on your investment if you're doing 100x. I don't encourage it because it's risky, but that's what the plays that I'm on right now. So those are the plays I'm on right now. And then also, you can always look at maybe catching the swings. You can kind of see if we've like right here, if we jumped up towards this 85.10, or if we maybe jumped up towards this 85.30, I would possibly look to see if I could short it out. And then also I would also move towards, let's see here, the 5 minute. Most likely this thing's going to jump up towards this 85.12 top out, because you can see it has not broke. You see how it has not broke this? This is going to be your 100-day SMA. So if this thing jumps up towards, like it looks like it wants to jump up towards this 100-day SMA, that would be a good short. And a real quick just ride down, sell off, right? And make that 50-60% profit as far as on your 100x leverage. But be careful out there. Did not tell you to do that. So, all right, guys. Well, listen, I'm going to end it. Marlon said pain mean 1 billion for Milady. Let's see here for $25. All right, guys. Well, listen, you guys have a wonderful, safe night. Hopefully tomorrow we'll have an exciting stream and we're back up to $50,000 and we are just rocking and rolling. I highly doubt that's going to happen, but you got to be optimistic, right? We'll be there eventually. We're going to be back on track. We really will. I joke around just because, we got to make light out of all this. Trust me, this isn't the first time we've seen stuff like this. It won't be the last. We'll be back on track, you guys. So just make sure you guys are safe out there. Make sure you have dry powder for these dips. Take advantage of it, because in the long term, especially for Milady, we are going to do some big things out there, guys. So make sure you guys, if you haven't already, hit the like, hit the subscribe. I will be back here tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If I'm a couple minutes early or a couple minutes late, don't be mad at me. But other than that, guys, I thank you guys so much, each and every one of you guys that came in today. Appreciate it, and hope you guys have a wonderful night, okay? All right, guys. See ya.